Hey, everybody. You caught me off guard. What's going on, everybody? Happy Sunday to you. Hope you are out enjoying this beautiful day, beautiful sunshiny day. Started off a little sketchy this morning, but it's a beautiful day. So I hope you're out and enjoy it. Got some sketchy stuff going on with my computer today, so I'm just going to give you what I can while I can. I might be buffering and freezing up some, but hopefully it won't interfere with what you can hear. So I'm going to probably talk a little faster today. Just want to say initially that next week we will not do a live. I've got another engagement at the same time that we normally do live, so we're not going to do the live on next Sunday. So keep that in mind. Keep that in mind. Let's get into it. We're talking about this month, for the month of September, to start from where you stand. Um, I think we want so much out of life. All of us do. I don't care who you are, what stage of life you're in. You always have that feeling or sense that there is more. And I don't think there's ever a time when you don't feel like that there is more for you. I know it is for me. It's like I go through these seasons and these times where I literally realize that, hey, man, I feel stuck. I feel stagnant. I know that there's more to life than what I'm experiencing right now. The problem with when we are in that headspace of knowing that there is more, most of the time we don't know how to go after it. We don't know how to reach for it or accomplish it, achieve it, whatever. And that is the problem. That is the problem that we face. And as a result, most of us just give up and we quit. And because we feel like we don't have enough capital, we don't feel like we have enough support, we don't feel like we have enough education, we don't feel like we have. So we come up with all kinds of excuses to keep us from accomplishing what we want. Maybe if I wait till next goal, I'll give myself 5 years and then I'll do this and so forth and so on. So we end up missing out on life. So that's why we're talking about starting where you stand. And it is my hope that you have the power to literally pick up from where you are, and start from where you stand. There's always a starting point to everything, every desire, every achievement, every goal, everything. There is always a starting point, and nobody can decide or determine what that is other than you. If you want to go to school, naturally the time to start doing it is when registration is happening, so that you can get registered and all of this give up or quit. Just in the face of opposition or when there is an obstacle. And my encouragement to you with this topic that we're talking about, starting where you stand, is that you look past the obstacles, that you look past your opposition and just pick up, make one step. I think to get to that point of starting where you stand, for me, I have to make a list. I'll make a list. I'll put down everything that I think that I would need to accomplish this goal, everything that I think that I would have to do to move forward. And this is just a sketchy outline of what I might have to do. Does it take this amount of money? Will it take this? What will I have to do? How much time do I have to invest to move to phase two? All of these things that you have to do and that are so necessary in order for you to do it. Our problem is that we don't ever start, which means that we stay in the same place. And so many of us, you look back over your life for last year to now, 2 years ago to now, 5 years ago to now, and you are literally in the same exact place because all we want to do is talk about what needs to be done. We don't want to start anything. And I talk to so many people about, well, listen, I plan to be this way in 3 years, or I plan to have this. And my question to them is, what have you started? What have you started doing to help make sure that that dream, that goal becomes a reality for you? And most of the time, people are like, nothing, I'm still trying to get it together, figure it out. Well, you can figure out for the rest of your life. Do something, even if it means that you have to just literally put down some off the wall stuff. I was reading a book, and in this book, that doing is what creates faith. Doing is what gets rid of doubt. When you are actually doing something to move you forward, whether it's emotional healing, mental healing, spiritual healing, whether it's to get a better job, to create a better lifestyle, to be in a better relationship, whatever the case may be, when you are doing something, doing is what obliterates or gets rid of doubt, and it helps you keep that forward movement. Deontay, hey, you guys, Deontay says sometimes getting started is off track. Well, I think, Deontay, getting thrown off track, and totally my opinion, is a choice. I think the more focused you become, how bad do you want it? You have to ask that question. And when you want it really bad and you know that it is achievable, you are convinced yourself that what you desire can be had. That's what hope is. That's literally the definition of hope. Hope literally means that what you want or desire can be had. And when you convince yourself that it can be had, there is a determination and a consistency that will keep you moving forward on it. But we really don't want it, or we say we want it, and that passion for having it hasn't begun to burn as fervently as it needs to in order for us to stay. You're right too in saying that sometimes the hardest thing to do is to get started, and that's why I said you got to make that list. And even if that list looks very trivial, it looks made. Maybe the first thing I need to do is get out of bed in the morning and do it to that point. Today is the day that I'm going to, I don't know, I'll start a business, but the first thing I got to do is get out of bed. The next thing I got to do is to literally get a paper and pencil. It's that kind of stuff, because it's those little bitty benchmarks that help you overcome all kinds of obstacles. And I think that sometimes our goals out there, and we really don't ever meet these huge goals, which keeps us from ever moving forward. So start out with little benchmarks. We had an end of the quarter goal, but every week we had a benchmark to make sure that by the end of the quarter, so you have to use these little benchmark things like getting up out of the bed, getting a pencil and paper, creating a journal to where you can write down your forward movement every single day, all of this stuff. Yeah, and Yolanda says she finds that an accountability partner helps as well, and absolutely somebody that you can trust with your goals and your visions that will help you stay in that forward movement. But yeah, we create these benchmarks, and let them be as petty as they need to be, because as petty as they are, they will at least keep you moving forward. And that's what you need to do. That's how you know that you have started. I don't care how trivial they may be or how minuscule they may appear to be. Even if you don't say, look, I tied my shoe today, and that is a forward movement to you taking those first steps. So yeah, don't downplay those little benchmarks. They are very important to achieve. Okay, you guys are starting something, whatever your desire is, whatever your goals are. This computer is a little sketchy. I don't know what's going on. It's either my internet or my computer. But that's enough for today. You got that. I want you to make sure that you hold that in your mind. I want you to Hopefully you are still able to hear me even when it was a little bit, so you won't lose what the meaning of what today's topic was. Remember, start where you stand. Give yourself these little benchmarks and stop coming up with these $1 million goals that's so hard for you to reach. Benny says, hey, Benny, I create checklists. Getting to cross off completed items motivates me. I have even put creating a checklist as an item on the list. Absolutely. And it's those little things like that, those little benchmarks that afford you the opportunity to say, hey, y'all, I'm moving forward. I've started this. This is what I've started. And when people say, well, what if you start doing it to get to the millionaire status? Well, I saved $1 this week. Yeah, it's that important. I saved $1 because think about all the dollars that you didn't save in the previous weeks. So this week, I literally held on to $1 that's going to go into the next week. Next week, my goal might be to hold on to $5, but I can assure you at some point in my life, I'm going to reach that millionaire status. And this is what I've started doing. And that's how you keep adding to it till it gets to the point where, hey, I'm saving $1,000 a month. I'm saving $5,000 a year. I'm saving $20,000. And it's those benchmarks like that that will keep you moving forward. So remember, start where you stand and watch your life transform. All right. Don't forget, next Sunday, we will not be on live. Next Sunday, we will not be on live. So we'll see you in a couple of weeks. Have a phenomenal week, phenomenal rest of the day, and we'll talk again soon. Bye.